Now after we have got the character of the element G at position K and the character of element G plus 1 at position K, we want to know their order according to our customized alphabetical order, and that's only if they are not equal. So if char1 is not equal to char2, I need to get the position of both of them. Position 1 is equal to get char1, and the same for char2. And if we get the positions, I just need to break, because I want to loop over the whole length if there is a match. Now we come to the application of the bubble sort algorithm. If position 1 is greater than position 2, so if the first element's character is greater than second element's character, we need to swap them. And for that, let's call the collections class and call the method swap on it. My list and element G swapped with element G plus 1. I have an error, of course, because I didn't import the class, so let's import the class. Let's now print the elements list in the end of every iteration. I need to call arrays class because I need toString method, and I convert my list to an array. I think till now I'm done with the sort method. I need to go to the sort class and let's create an object from customized order class. We call it A, just a letter, equal new. Now I call this sort method on A object. I don't have sorts, and that's because I think I wrote private as access modifier, but I needed public here. Sorry, you need to change it. Then we go back to sort class, and here is sort method, and we pass names. Now our program is ready to be run, but before we run it, let's understand a little bit what happens. First of all, the user creates an array list and enters 7 names. Then we pass this list to the sort method. In the sort method, I get my list. Here I use the main for loop to generate iterations, and the nested for loop here in order to access elements. Let's suppose we have the first element and the second element in the list. So the first element has the index G, and the second element or the adjacent element has the index G plus 1. So here I get the length of both of them. Then I try to find the shorter element, and I explain why. Then I make a for loop on the shorter element's length. Here for k is equal 0, I get the first character of the element G and the first character of the element G plus 1. Let's suppose we have 2 names to compare. Let's suppose that in position G I have Victoria, and in position G plus 1 I have Romeo. So by executing these both lines of code above, I could access V for the first name and R for the second name. Now it is obvious that V is not equal to R, so this if statement is gonna be executed. Now we have the integer variables position 1 and position 2 in order to store the character's position in our customized alphabet. So here I need to call the get char position, and I send both characters. In the getCharacterPosition method, what actually happens is the following. Let's take the letter V of the first name as an example. So here the getCharPosition method receives V. Now this for loop means if the sent character is found in my alphabet, I just need to return the index, else we return 100. So that means if there is any other name that starts with another letter that doesn't belong to my alphabet, it will be sorted in the bottom list. So here for the letter V, capital letter V, we will return the index, which is starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here we will get 6 stored here. The same for Romeo. The first letter was capital R. So in my order here, R is 0, so in position 2 or pos 2 we will get 0. So pos 1 has 6 and pos 2 has 0. Now let's go to this if statement. If pos 1 greater than pos 2, that's correct, so I need to swap Romeo and Victoria. If not, I just pass to the second couple of adjacent elements. Once we are done, we print the list of the iteration. So that's how our program works. Let's run our program now and see what it gives. I enter 7 outputs or 7 names. First name is Nadine. Let's enter the ones I used. Victoria, Romeo, Selena. Let's enter a name with small characters. Michelle. I still have 2 names left. Mark and Emily. This is my result. If you see here, we have 6 iterations, and you can see clearly that starting from the 4th iteration, all my elements are sorted in the right order, but the algorithm doesn't know about that. We can implement a little code to fix that, like creating Boolean variables, and every Boolean variable returns true if every couple of adjacent elements are in the right order. So like that we can avoid 5th and 6th iteration. Now if we compare our sorted list with the order of alphabet we chose, we will find out that they are all in the right order according to the alphabet, and you can check that by yourself. By the way, just give priority to the capital letters, but you can still customize it in the way you want, like put in every small character right after its capitalized form. Like here R, we can put R here. It's just up to you. You can customize it in this way, but I just leave it this way. Now there is another thing I want to talk about. Let's suppose we have 2 names with a common part. For example, as I said before, Sami and Samir. Don't care about the errors, I just want to explain. So we see clearly that Sami and Samir have Sami as a common part. The program will do nothing if these 2 names are adjacent. But if you want to give priority to the shorter name, we just need to go to our for loop here, right here, and do the following. If case equal min length minus 1 pos 1 first element length and pos 2 receive the second element's length. So with this little code we give priority to the shorter element in case there is a common part between 2 elements. Let's quickly change the size here to therefore I don't need that much names to try my program. Let's execute again. So I just forgot to get rid of these two names. Let's run again. Let's give the following names: Omar, Samir, Sami, and Marlene. So you can see clearly here that Sami and Samir were swapped because Sami is shorter than Samir. Let's now see what happens if we comment the if statement. Let's execute our program one more time with the same names: Omar, Samir, Sami, Marlene. You can see when we commented that if statement, Samir and Sami are not swapped. So it is just up to you whether or not you want to give priority in such cases. So here is the end of my tutorial. I hope I answered the question and I hope that it was clear to understand. You can still work on the descending order if you want as a practice. See you in another tutorial. Goodbye.